So I literally just got back from the fan screening of Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, and here is my review. It should note that it is 1 in the morning. I have classes at 9:30 in the morning, and I am very tired, but I'm going to make this really short and simple. So I'm going to start off with the action scenes that are throughout the film, and I just gotta say, god damn, they are really good. Like, literally every action sequence within the Marvel movies have nothing to say about freaking all the action sequences in Batman v Superman. The only one that can actually say something is probably the Winter Soldier, but even then, like, everything that Batman and Superman like do, like, is just so, oh my lord, it's just like, it's just so amazing. Like, throughout the action sequence, there were certain parts where Batman did something really ruthless, and I'm like, god damn, Batman, I feel like you should take it down a notch, but, you know, keep on going. You do you, Batman. You keep on doing you. And of course, Superman had some really sick action sequences as well, but I'm not going to get into them because that would be spoilers. Speaking of spoilers, this is going to be a non-spoiler review. A spoilery-filled review will probably go up on Sunday, maybe Monday. It depends on what my schedule is going to look like. Now, I'm going to move on to the villain of the film, that being Lex Luthor. And I know everyone is, was skeptical about Jesse Eisenberg, playing Lex Luthor, and all I gotta say is that he kills it. But I feel like it should be noted that the Lex Luthor in the comic books and, the Superman animated series, the Justice League Unlimited, and, stuff like most of the cartoons, that isn't the exact same Lex Luthor that, Jesse portrayed. Actually, if anything, besides from their names, the characters, the only thing that they share is their motivation and probably them both being psychotic. And for the sake of comparison, because, that's what everyone likes doing. I personally don't like doing it, but, everyone likes comparing so they know where it stands within, other stuff and, stuff like that. So I'm going to compare Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor to Tom Hiddleston's Loki. Loki from the Avengers. And I know everybody loves Loki, so do I, but where Loki and Tom Hiddleston's performance is more charismatic, I feel like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor is more anxious. And by anxious, I don't mean he's anxious. I mean, like, what he does on screen makes you anxious. Because I'm not gonna lie, you never see what he's going to do. Like, it's not until, like, his plan is already going and then you realize, oh, crap, I see what he did now. And another quick small comparison is that this Lex Luthor is already a better villain than Ultron from Age of Ultron. And movie-wise only, comic books, that's a totally different argument that I'm not going to get into. And I just gotta say, every actor, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, and freaking Jason Momoa all killed it as their hero counterparts. Granted, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Aquaman only has one scene, and it's gonna make people fear Aquaman when his movie comes out. And in my opinion, I feel like Ben Affleck's performance as Batman kind of outshined everyone else. Like, only Jesse's, Lex Luthor was the only thing to, like, compare it to. And now I'm not saying that Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot did a horrible job as, Superman and Wonder Woman respectively, but, they just got kind of outshined. But I do have to say that Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, on point. Like, any skepticism that I had before, which I barely had any because I'm always open-minded towards, casting, but I know everyone else was sort of, skeptical about it because, oh, she's too skinny, she's not Wonder Woman, stuff like that. She proves that she's Wonder Woman. And Henry Cavill as Superman, I felt like he's, adjusting to the role, and he kind of, gets his stride within the film, but again, he kind of gets outshined by the other actors. But if anything, the Superman that we have now, the one now part of the, DC Cinematic Universe, or Extended Universe, whatever you want to call it, he's only been Superman for 2 years, and he's still kind of adjusting to the role as Superman, and we still see that throughout the film. And if anything, he still has Justice League to prove that, like, he is Superman. And then, once, he finally establishes who he is as Superman, he can start adding his own stuff. And, I feel like after that, he'll fit into the role much better. Now, both story-wise, I feel like it's both the positive and the negatives about this film. The positive of the story is that, it works. I loved everything about the story. But the only negative about it is kind of like the pacing about it and some character motivations that we don't really see, but we kind of have to, like, refer to the motivation that's there. But just going off the trailers alone, Batman being mad at Superman for the destruction of Metropolis, he's legit mad. He's not under the influence of, like, Lex Luthor or anything. Like, Batman's legit mad at Superman, and he has his reasons to. And not only that, Wonder Woman is in the film, and her role in the film is actually very small, and thing is, it didn't feel that shoehorned in. Like, did her scenes have to be in there? Not really, but, her scenes still worked really well, and it does the job that it needed to do. Also, there are other cameos besides from this guy. And let's just say in my spoiler review, we're gonna go into real in depth about that. I'm just gonna leave it at this. I love what I'm seeing, and that's also a negative of the story, is the fact that they had to world build and build up, you know, and establish the DC cinematic slash extended universe, whatever you want to call it. But if anything, it's not as shoehorned in as the pool scene from Avengers Age of Ultron, because that was really shoehorned in, that made no sense whatsoever. And another thing of the story is that some things aren't really explained too well, and they just kind of like glance over it, and that's kind of it. But if you're new here, I don't exactly do a grading system. Like, I don't use letters, I don't do numbers. But if you're a fan of superhero movies, I feel like Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is probably the top ones up there. It's not the best one, I feel like. It's up there, but it's not. I feel like it's not the best. I feel like it's definitely better than Avengers, but that's just my opinion. But if anything, my final verdict for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is it's a must-watch if you are, you know, just a fan of movies and just a fan of superhero movies, like in general. Like, I never seen a theater so pumped to see these three together on screen together for the first time. And of course, the film does have its own issues. No film is perfect. I've never seen a perfect movie. But everything that Warner Brothers and DC Comics and Zack Snyder and Chris Terrio, what they wanted to do, they did it, and they did it well. And I'm excited to go see this movie again on Thursday and Friday. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours down in the comments below. Have you seen Batman v Superman yet? By the time you're watching this, have you not? Are you still excited for it? Have everything I said, you know, persuaded you on a more positive note rather than a skeptical note like some people have been? But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you for watching. I truly do appreciate it. I'll see you guys on next time, whenever that is. I have no idea, but hey, at least this review came out before the movie came out, because that's good, right? This is probably the first time that's ever going to happen. I'm pretty sure this won't happen for any other movie that I review in the future. But until next time, bye-bye.